On this episode, we are going to be talking about Fallout Season 2, Episode 4, the TV show.
Elder Scrolls Online unveils 2026 roadmap. Is Machine Games working on Wolfenstein 3? And is a Fallout 3 shadow drop on its way?
Hi everybody, welcome back to Bethesda Unpatched. This is episode number 27. I am Joe the Wigit, and I realized I didn't do something because we already recorded like 15 minutes of the show, and I realized that my recording completely screwed up, and it just had my ugly mug zoomed in, and you couldn't see Kilo over here. The space trucker extreme extraordinaire himself, Kilo. I forgot to even do that on the last recording. In a way,
then I guess
I'm
what's good
glad we got to redo it.
There we go. Son of a bitch. We were talking about so much stuff.
We were halfway through the news.
Oh, man. We were. So, how's it going, Widgets?
Yeah. Take two.
All right, take two. We got our shit together. Housekeeping announcements. There's other stuff we talked about. I can't remember. Whatever. Registration to join us at StarCon has begun. You have until the 16th to claim your spot. It is free. If you are a Starfield fan, it is free. It takes place on January 24th, which I forgot to talk about last time, from 12:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to register, you go to star-con2026.com. You can get some more information, and you can see the lineup of guests. We got Vasco coming. We at least got a message from Vasco, the actor.
Pretty much all the leaders of the Starfield community coming in on this thing.
Yeah, pretty much all of us.
Oh yeah,
including
check it out.
King. What you got?
My other new shirt.
Dude. Okay. Well, yeah.
You just can't
That's
see
a
it
good
really
one.
well on the camera, but it's there.
No. On the 17th, you got to check us out over in the King's Corner with King Fan Man.
We're going to be joining the old man.
Yes, on his show. Thank God the recording screwed up, because then now he doesn't have to hear all the horrible jokes he made about him.
I'm tempted to redo them because they were great.
We're looking forward to that, of course. We love King. He's been on the show a few times.
He's our boy.
He is.
We were talking about how we kind of have a bromance going on with King Fan Man.
Right.
Old man King Fan Man. Grandpa?
Yeah.
Bethesda?
But Grandpa.
We love you, King Fan Man.
You said that like you're going to ask him for a pony.
Right.
Grandpa, can I have a pony? We love King. He's a great guy. That's all for our announcements. Do you want to get into the news?
Yep.
Again?
Great.
First thing is, we got, if you've been paying attention, I'm sure anybody's seen it on social media at this point, there is a countdown timer on the Amazon Fallout TV show.
To be honest, I missed this entirely until we started recording.
Oh, well, good thing you got me.
Yeah, right.
Now, there's a lot of speculation about this. This coincides with the end of the Fallout TV show, right? But what does it mean? I think one of the strongest possibilities is that we're going to see either Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas remastered shadow dropping when that timer hits 0.
It's going to be Fallout 3. We already know they were going to release that last year. When they had a court case, they had to reveal, we talked about it on the air a few episodes ago. They had to reveal their projects in the works. And one of them, right, that was supposed to release within like a month of Oblivion remastered, was Fallout 3 remastered. So we know it's almost done, and it was supposed to release last year, but for some various reasons it did not. Yeah. So it makes the most sense. I'm like 99% sure it's going to be that, if it's going to be a shadow drop, for sure. And I can't wait because I have never played it. I want to, and I do not want to deal with the old graphics.
If you played 3 and 4 all the way through, what's happening in the TV show would make a whole lot more sense to you.
Yeah, I know.
You don't have to understand it. However, it would have levels.
I'm taking the perspective of the person who hasn't.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm not a complete Fallout noob. I know the story. I know the environment. I play Fallout 76.
Sure.
Like it's a religion, but I'm getting there. And there's just some things I'm missing. That's why I have you here.
That's why you got me.
And my interesting, weird perspective is why I'm here.
How about Elder Scrolls? Elder Scrolls dropped a roadmap.
Yeah, they had a big event that happened a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of their something else I mentioned last recording, and I just completely spaced it again. Oh my god, the developer
showcase.
Oh my god, what is wrong with me? It's that deer in the headlights. The camera goes on.
Right.
What was my line?
We got a lot of changes coming to ESO over the next year. At April 2nd, 2026, they're going to be switching to a seasons model. It's going to be kicking off with Season 0, Dawn and Dusk.
Yeah, and this is a big change for them. Because they had, it was just like these big releases, big patches, and you had to buy the really big DLCs, like Dark Brotherhood, the Thieves Guild, things like that.
Right.
And this is going to be going away from that model.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, in the long run, if you're a very avid Elder Scrolls Online fan and you play it religiously, this is going to cost you more money in the long run, which is why they're doing it. Let's be real.
Well, I mean, it's one reason, but something else that I'm completely blanking on.
Well, they're releasing some really good content, and it's going to force them to be on a regular schedule. They already pretty much are. They've been very, very consistent over the last 6-7 years.
They really have.
Which is amazing for a game. They've revamped this game time and time again, and there's so much in it. It's ridiculous. You cannot...
what's really exciting...
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
Okay, well, fine. I'll go ahead. What's really exciting is you got the Gold Coast Bazaar. Now, this is cool. It's a new in-game store dedicated to earnable rewards. And what it is this is going to be a consistent place where you can get limited time cosmetics that you might have missed in the past, like events and Twitch drops and things like that, which is a lot. And the items at the bazaar can be purchased with trade bars, which are earned primarily in the Tamriel tomes, but you can also earn them through regular gameplay.
Mm-hmm. It's just going to be slower.
Mm-hmm.
The nice thing about Elder Scrolls Online is that, you're doing a battle pass, but this battle pass is mostly just cosmetic things. Yeah, you can get XP boost scrolls, but that doesn't really affect anyone but you. Because anyone at any level can play together. Mm-hmm. So your level is completely on your own progression. It doesn't affect anybody else around you. So, that's acceptable. There's games like Hearthstone, which I'm a fan of, where they use these heroes. It's not the regular card game. It's a different one. It's the tavern battles, but I think it's the name. I can't believe I keep forgetting this stuff. But anyway, you get these heroes that really, they affect how you play the game and how you're going to set up your board. Some heroes are way better than others, and if you do it for free, you only get 2 heroes to choose from. If you pay for the battle pass, you get 4. So that's very arguably a pay to win.
Which is a little bit of a bummer. What is it? What are the event tickets? I'm seeing this in the article.
Event tickets?
It says the developers also revealed that they're getting rid of event tickets. Players with existing event tickets will receive trade bars in exchange. And unlike the tickets, there's no cap on how many trade bars you can hold.
Yeah, there were these special little tickets you got from doing events in each of the special events, like Christmas, for instance. There's a very unique currency that you use to trade in for that particular season's or events rewards.
Well, this is my favorite part of it. It says trade bars cannot be purchased with crowns. They must be earned by playing.
That is phenomenal. That is you're avoiding the pay to win, which is something that games really need to avoid.
Yeah.
Unlike certain developers out there. They have a lot coming on the roadmap.
I was just about to.
Yeah.
I was literally just about to.
The new update 49 is going to be launching, and that's where they're going to start doing they're starting to do the rebuild of the characters or the classes, which is going to be an amazing thing. And you brought up something last time we recorded that is incredible too. They're going to be releasing the Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood, Orsinium, and Imperial City DLCs for free and be included into the base game. No longer do you have to spend like $50 to get all that.
Yep, that's with update 49.
Yeah. And it's going to be launching
simultaneous.
Which in the past, it's been PC first and then console, usually about a week later.
Right. But we've been talking about how we're looking at crossplay, and it was, the whole time that we were restarting this, I probably could have looked this up, but one of the developers for Zenimax did confirm that that's something they're working on, but the main hurdle that they're struggling with is the economics of it, which makes makes me think of like there's negotiations going on regarding what everybody's cut is, because everybody's system works differently.
They're going to be the battle pass they're doing. I'm still not sure how I feel about it, but it's a 3-tier system. Normally it's just 2 tiers with most games. Either you pay for it and get the extra goodies, or you don't, and you get a very minimal free stuff. Well, they have the free system, and then they have a tier 1 premium, which is $15 a month, and then the premium plus, which is $30, or it's not per month, per season.
Oh, so every 3 months.
Yeah.
Got you. We got a Night Market Group Event Zone coming. Tamriel Tomes Battle Pass, we just talked about that. Bazaar, we just talked about that. PvP progression. New Overland difficulty options. Balance and visual updates for the Dragon Knight class, 2-handed weapons, and Werewolf.
Oh, Season 2 looks crazy. They have solo dungeons.
You can be a werewolf?
Yeah.
You can be a werewolf, and you could have got me on this game so much earlier if you would have led with that.
And vampirism is a thing in that too.
No. Werewolves.
Yeah, werewolves is a big thing.
And of course, I was on Team Lucian when Underworld came out.
Fair enough. The Dragon Knight class is getting revamped April 2nd with balance and visual updates, which is arguably the best class in the game. Just saying. I'll argue it.
For sure.
Yeah, they got a lot of good stuff coming out this year. It's going to be fun. So it might be a good time for you to start playing it, bud.
Yeah, it might be.
This year.
Again, if I get the damn thing to work.
Yeah, I want to promise from you this year. You're going to try to get it to work and play ESO.
I'm going to try to get it.
And Fallout 76 has to happen.
Fallout 76. I got to figure out how to make Fallout 76 happen before we see King. Otherwise, I won't stop hearing about it on that episode.
You do. Oh, and if you guys want me in particular to play a particular game that I haven't talked about, and you want me to learn and play, let me know.
Yeah.
You email us,
Absolutely.
Do it through our video comments, through our Discord. I might just
do
play
that. Fallout 1, because son of a bitch.
I won't put up with that mess to get it for free. I'll probably just wind up paying for it.
Well, the thing is, if you go to GOG.net, for it's like $12 right now, you can get Fallout 1, Fallout 2, and Fallout Tactics.
Okay.
It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. All right, let's get on to the bad news.
Oh, right. Shit sandwich. That's what we're talking about. Cancellation of new Bethesda MMO just got an even sadder twist, and we are talking about the cancellation of Project Blackbird and the departure of Matt Firor.
Fryer. Yeah, he...
Fryer.
Sorry, Fryer.
Okay.
I talked to the guy in person a few times. He's a really cool guy. He really knows his stuff. Yeah. And it sucks, because this was his pet project, apparently.
Yeah. He said, the game I had waited my entire career to create, and having it canceled led to my resignation. That was on his LinkedIn. So my heart and thoughts are always with the impacted team members, many of whom I had worked 20 plus years with, and all of whom were the most dedicated, amazingly talented group of developers in the industry. Apparently, I didn't know this, Blackbird was supposed to be like a cross between Cyberpunk 2077 and Destiny, so it was a multiplayer shooter.
Yeah.
Like Destiny? That's pretty cool. It says here in the article that he has gone on to make some investments in some smaller teams and advise on projects and startups. Some have wondered if Matt may start a new studio, but he said he has not seriously contemplated this.
I'm wondering, okay, Xbox, Microsoft in particular, canceled some really big projects like Rare's Everwild and the new Perfect Dark.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if those games were not meeting their criteria or their launch time was way too far out and was over exceeding budget.
Yeah, I mean, they might have gone to Matt and said, "Hey, you can do this, but it's got to be out like yesterday."
Mm.
I wonder what that conversation was like. Actually, I'm curious.
Because these games take millions of dollars per year to do, and if you're doing a 10-year project, that could be upwards of $100 million. I mean, they get games, AAA titles nowadays cost as much to make as movies to make.
Yeah, insane amount of money.
Back in my day.
Hopefully, we see more from Matt in the future. And here's interesting little rumor. This is a rumor. This is reportedly, allegedly, Machine Games is reportedly developing Wolfenstein 3 alongside a Rainbow Six Siege style multiplayer game. No confirmation, of course, on any of this, especially whether or not Wolfenstein 3 and the multiplayer game are going to be connected somehow. This is actually talking about going back to BJ Blazkowicz's arc. He started out in New Order, I guess. He was that was the reboot of Wolfenstein. He was kind of more like a solo player. And when it came to New Colossus, he was part of a resistance. And it's basically, the first game was very much about BJ and how obviously he understands that the Nazis have won the war, but it's also a very personal journey for him. But at the same time, he meets Anya and he starts to see that there are other things that play as well, not only fighting Nazis. This is from Jörg Gustafsson, the studio head for Machine Games.
Okay.
And he says, when you move into New Colossus, we move into a wider group of people around you being part of the resistance, something much bigger. And something also like a family to you, but at the same time, you're also preparing to start maybe your own family. And he says, this is the quote. It says, I think that's important to say because at least I hope that we are not done with Wolfenstein yet. We have a story to tell. And on top of all of this, Machine Games is working on a Rainbow Six Siege-like multiplayer title. I loved Rainbow Six, but I suck at online games. I couldn't get into Siege. It's unclear if the game is tied to Wolfenstein universe or a brand new IP.
Yeah,
and again, Machine Games is yet to confirm.
Yeah, just rumors. I wouldn't put too much weight in that. No. And the last piece of news.
Last piece of news we got is Fallout Fever. I got a fever.
Well, that's been a thing since the show released.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the Steam player count has surged. According to data from Steam DB,
and keep in mind,
doubled.
Steam numbers are only a small fraction of the player count because most players do go through the Xbox, which is not tracked.
Right. We're not talking about purchases of any of the games. We're not talking about, like you said, Game Pass, downloads, anything like that.
It's
and of course, this
online
is all because
active
of the TV
players.
Show.
Yeah, and of course, it all coincides with the TV show.
Yep.
And yeah, it's more than doubled in most games. I know that Fallout 76 had its most players ever when the show first launched.
Here it says Fallout 4 increased from around 20,000 daily players to over 40,000.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit.
It's massive. Fallout New Vegas even went from 15 to almost 18.
Fallout 76, stable player base of around 10 to 20,000, skyrocketed to 30. That's crazy. Older games have also seen an influx. Classics such as Fallout New Vegas and even Fallout 3 have seen their concurrent players rise significantly. None of that's surprising. It's all pretty awesome, though. Man, the love for Fallout. I had a post that I put up for us. It was a horrible list. It was a dog shit list. I'm not, and that's part of the reason I put it up there because I just wanted to see what people were going to say about it. It was a list of the best companions in Fallout. And it's probably the worst list of companions in Fallout. There's only a couple of really ones on there that are really good. But as of recording that video on TikTok, that post was up to like 14.7 thousand views. And we had a bunch of comments and a bunch of likes and a lot of people. My favorite comment probably was this one that Joe's going to put on the screen. And that T-shirt reads, "I love bad writing." And the reason I laughed at it when I saw it, because I'm like, it was by Mr. Epstein, and that was the commenter.
Oh,
I see you. And the picture looked a little bit too much like me. It looked like one of those meme guys. I'm like, that looks awful like me. I'm bald. I got glasses. I got the facial hair. I love bad writing. Listen, I did not pick that list. I even put in the title, "Who made this list?" Question mark, question mark, because it was a horrible list.
Yeah.
But a lot of people on there were attributing to me, so I was like running down the comments doing damage control, like, yeah, I know, I agree. We're like, what the hell? Like, this is crap. Why is dog meat an honorable mention? Where's EDE? I don't know.
It wasn't me, I swear.
It wasn't me. That was a lot of fun, though. We had a lot of fun with that. And actually, that picture that was posted that I suspect was me led to a nice little thread of back and forth, like, memes, which was a lot of fun, which I love. So that was a lot of good times. Definitely a lot of people, man. Fallout Fever. Everybody's loving it right now. Absolutely. Speaking of which,
we're going to get into the new
show.
episode.
Look at that transition. Episode 4. This cold open, man, is absolutely insane. There's so much to unpack here.
Yeah. I have many questions about this. It's not even funny.
Mm-hmm. We start out on the Alaskan front during the battle against the Reds,
which was very interesting. And I love how they had the busted-ass T-45 armor with the USMC right plastered across the front.
Yep. We always get the broken shit, dude. We get the hand-me-downs. We do more with less. Makes total sense. So we got Cooper and Charles marching along here, and they're
Can we talk about that flashback really quick, though? Because every time they do, in the beginning of the episode, they do a little quick flashback to remind you. And it's always, when they do that flashback, it always pertains to this episode. And one of the last things that Cooper says in the flashback was the weakness in the armor.
Right.
And it plays directly into this, because...
Yeah,
it
absolutely does.
The comment from his buddy saying, "Barb will kill me if I let your ass freeze," was just great.
I wrote that down, too. He orders Charlie to get out of there because the brass won't let them retreat, even though their power armor's malfunctioning. And then we hear the growling. It wasn't even growling. The first noise wasn't growling.
No, it was weird. It definitely had an animalistic sound to it.
Right.
And I had an idea with where they were going, but it didn't make sense to me. It still doesn't. I was disappointed because if you play Fallout 3 and you play Operation Anchorage, there is you can get a Chinese stealth suit, which is literally like it's a cloak suit. You just disappear. I was expecting them to show up wearing that because that was like the Chinese answer to the power armor. Oh, okay.
But that wasn't the case. They just walked out of the glare of the fire.
It seems like the way that Chinese girl was talking was that this is the first time they've seen power armor.
Yeah.
He mentions this is the world or the future of technology.
Yeah, there's a future of warfare. It won't be long before the generals stuff us into these things.
Yeah, that was interesting. And that growl. And then, of course, the Chinese show up. They shoot Coop right in the weak spot. In the knee? Yep. Really? I thought it was supposed to be up higher.
Well, I think, it was under the breastplate, but his leg was already sparking and stuff. And he falls over.
It's like,
he's a turtle. Really?
The thing just locks up from that? Mm-hmm. That's useless.
You know what caught Mrs. Kilo was when the Chinese girl says... What are we going to say when they stuff us in? We're going to say the same thing that he said. Okie dokie.
Yep.
Which was kind of like, what?
Yeah, and she says that right before she gets ripped to shreds.
Yeah. By a frickin' Deathclaw.
I was so glad they didn't show that.
Man, Deathclaw. Okay. So I had to actually go back and look this up. The U.S. government created Deathclaws to be used in close quarter battle. In search and rescue missions.
That was my thing. It's like, I could have swore, I read somewhere in the lore that Deathclaws were an experiment that happened after the nukes.
Well, the Master, which is the antagonist in the first game, is a super mutant, I believe. He took the Death Claws and he refined them even further. And then they ended up breaking out, basically, and becoming the apex predator of the Wasteland.
I think
It started before the war, continued after the war.
there's bigger and badder things in the Wasteland from my experience.
There can be.
In 76 in particular, Deathclaws are like the middle of the road. Now, if you come across a matriarch, yeah, they're a pain in the neck. But there's bigger beasts out there that will just
absolutely
eat you alive.
Like I'm off the top of my head, based like let's say Fallout 4. We got the Queen Mirelurk is pretty nasty. We got the Behemoth, which is like the supersized super mutant. Those are both. Those probably make a Deathclaw think twice.
Even the giant-ass hermit crabs with a massive and intense like defense, they take forever to kill. There's this video I saw on YouTube where a couple programmers made this arena in Fallout 4, and they put all the monsters in all of Fallout 4 in a death match and had them fight each other.
Oh, nice.
Deathclaw was like 6th place in the end.
Oh, okay.
And it wound up being the hermit crab as the apex because it just took everything.
Okay. Because the shell harder to hit?
Behemoth was the only one that really gave it challenge. But yeah,
Interesting.
It's a very cool show. I don't remember who did it, or I would give him credit, but it was a good view. Look up Fallout 4 Deathmatch and something like that, and it's
okay. All right, we'll check that out for sure. So the Deathclaw walks over to Cooper. It's like face to face with the son of a bitch. Ends up leaving. He just leaves Cooper there, which is really weird.
Probably because he knew that he was immobile.
Maybe. Some of the Deathclaws that you meet throughout the Fallout games, there are intelligent, sentient Deathclaws. Whether or not this is one of them, I don't know. Or maybe he has some kind of, I don't know, control chip. And he knows not to attack Americans.
Or trained to do so.
Absolutely. He leaves, the Reds retreat. Radio comes over, says, the Reds are retreating, we drove them off. And Cooper's just laying there like, it wasn't us. It wasn't us. It wasn't us.
Yeah. A little stunned by that whole experience.
Yeah, that messes him up. And you see that come back in his eyes later on in the episode, for sure.
Then it cuts into the present. And right to where Xander just got killed.
Yeah.
And I'm beginning to think that maybe Xander is dead. Maybe my theory was not right.
I'm not convinced we're not right about the Institute yet, though.
Oh, I'm not convinced about that either. I'm saying whether the fact is that I was saying on the last episode, I think he probably is still alive, but...
Right. Well, I don't know, because they leave him there. They don't even take the power armor. They end up putting Thaddeus in it. You know, I've seen a lot of stuff online, actually on X in particular. There was one post that I saw talking about how it's definitely not the Institute. Like, he's definitely not part of the Institute. I'm not convinced that's the case.
Yeah.
And the main thing is that I noticed, and I was going to bring this up later. I'm going to bring this up right now. This moment.
Right now.
If we look at right now, if we look at the events taking place in New Vegas right now, right? Based on what we've seen in this episode, we have seen that the NCR is almost non-existent. If the Battle of Hoover Dam happened, the Legion won. We also see in this episode that the Strip is abandoned.
Yeah.
So right there, we have no NCR. We have no independent New Vegas. And the Brotherhood is kind of just getting there. So their faction that is in New Vegas is nowhere to be seen. What this looks like to me is the direction that the showrunners took was like, what's Fallout if the player character is not involved? What if Courier 6 died and he never came out of the grave? So he couldn't choose the Legion, or he couldn't choose the NCR. He couldn't choose, Mr. House. Okay. Now there's a mention of Elder Maxon towards the end of the episode. Elder Maxon is the leader of the Brotherhood in the Boston Commonwealth. If Elder Maxon was still in control in Boston, The railroad probably wouldn't exist. The Minutemen would have been killed outright in Concord, where you meet them. So those are two factions gone. And without the sole survivor intervening, the Brotherhood never would have been able to find a way into the Institute, because it's only that you are father's son or your father's dad. Only because your dad is the only reason that the Brotherhood is able to get into the Institute, which is underground. There is no entrance. You have to teleport in. Now we're talking about a Boston Commonwealth where the sole survivor never. So basically, it looks like they basically took the player character out of the equation, which is super interesting.
That way, you can't have any effect on.
You can't have a canon end. Yeah, you can't have a canon ending. But what you can have is an institute that is gaining strength, because Xander Harkness says we are going to lose the Commonwealth if we don't get this cold fusion. Well, the only threat in the Commonwealth that could be that much of a problem would be the Institute. So I think Xander was from the Institute. I still think that.
Yeah, even the evidence you mentioned last episode was very compelling.
Yeah. And the only thing that I could think otherwise would be that the message got to the Commonwealth about the meeting of the Civil War too late, and the Prydwen just couldn't make it. The Prydwen is the airship from the Boston Commonwealth. Couldn't make it across fast enough, so they sent the Vertibird ahead. But that still doesn't explain the 2 suits of armor.
No.
So I'm not convinced that's the case. So there you go. There's your. I'm going to go with that for today.
And we're back.
Sorry, I didn't get that out.
And Thaddeus has one of my favorite lines. I am great at running away. I like it. I'm good at it.
I'm good at it. He's getting all the chips into the bucket and stuff.
He's a bigger idiot than Maximus, and it's evident, and it's hilarious.
No, the funniest part is him putting Thaddeus in the damn power armor.
Yep. That whole thing, Thaddeus made this episode hilarious.
Yeah, really did, truly.
I just have a note, the door, when he was coming out of the building, constantly hitting his head on the roof.
Yeah.
Door frame, come on.
Yeah. Maximus and the Knight are just watching him struggle.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that.
So funny.
How do you do this?
Too funny. So, but they recover and they head back to their airship.
Mm-hmm. And it cuts to Lucy.
Lucy!
Getting a makeshift IV of an unknown substance that they call medicine.
Well, turns out it's Buffout.
Yeah.
But she was being taken care of by the NCR peeps that we met last episode. And there's the ghoul.
And the one thing about this scene that really got me was the background. Mm-hmm. I looked at it, and I did a 1-to-1 comparison about the New Vegas map based on that camp location, and it's identical. It's just like it's a real-life version of that game.
Huh.
All the features, the terrain, it's there.
Really? They did good with that, then. That's pretty sweet. There's a lot we haven't seen that's in that area.
Mm-hmm.
But we do kind of find out something about McCarran at the end of the show, which we mentioned last episode. Lucy says she's looking for someone. The captain was like, someone you care about or someone you hate? And the ghoul's line is great. Oh, what a great question. What say you, Miss McLean?
Do tell. We didn't say do tell. That would have been great. But
and then the NCR is trying to recruit her. He says, we almost brought justice to the wasteland.
Almost. Being the key word, then somehow got wiped out. And I love when she opens up that weapon chest and the Fallout music plays in the background in an epic fashion. I thought it was great. That was such a game moment right there. That
was so great. All I saw there was more matching jackets. You see the little smile, just a little bit. Lucy is catching on, slowly but surely.
In this episode, she's starting to catch on a lot more as things progress.
Yeah. You could say that.
Yeah.
You could definitely say that.
The product of inbreeding support group. Oh my god.
They're
one of my favorite things about this season so far. They're hilarious.
So freaking funny. So funny. We got a whole party over there right now. And then the one girl complains about being out of water. And Mrs. Kilo jumped on this faster than I did. As soon as she sees him walking down the hall with the canisters. I'm quoting, watch, 100 to 1 he goes to get water and there is none. And then the very next scene is the water pump not pumping water, the dead plants. You hear them talking about the water ration.
I love the fact that they're using the water chip. It's a direct call to Fallout 1. I think it's fantastic.
It is, yeah. Absolutely. And we hear in this scene that Betty's approval rating is dropping.
Yeah. Well, because she's in crisis mode.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Non-Fallout aware listeners. An overseer losing favor in the Fallout universe ever is always bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's always bad. It is never good. It does not end well for the overseer pretty much ever.
From my limited experience, I can say the same thing, yes.
Yeah, it's bad Grigri. Lucy's fiending.
Yeah. Why is the sun itchy?
Why
is the air itchy?
Right. You ever be like hungry but not for food? Ghoul's like, yeah.
The Ghoul's just eating this up right now. He's just,
yep.
He knows what's going on.
That's what happens when you come off a 2-day buff-out drip.
She's on withdrawal.
And basically her options are either quit cold turkey, which will suck for about 5 days, or just keep taking the drugs. Dog meat seems to have a reaction at this point.
I missed that.
Like a disapproval. Yeah, the way the dog looks is just like,
I was too busy writing things down.
Give me the drugs.
Yeah, and the whole Buffout thing, which is definitely a big thing in the game, and it's even labeled. Yeah. And everything I read about Buffout, it says highly addictive.
Highly addictive. And it's mostly, there are different variants throughout the games. They do different things. However,
it's mostly a steroid.
This up. So because this is New Vegas, I decided to check out the stats for the New Vegas version of Buffout. The effects are plus 60 max hit points for 4 minutes, plus 3 endurance for 4 minutes, and plus 2 strength for 4 minutes. There's a 10% chance of addiction. I think Lucy got the short end of that one.
Yeah, she did.
But
she got my luck.
You're right.
10% is really 90%.
So all of the we'll talk a little bit more about this when we get to the Kings, but all of it is just heightened physical ability. Harder to kill, hit harder, move faster. But before we do that, let's go back to the Brotherhood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Maximus is on this straight up killing spree. What's up with this dude?
Yeah.
What's your plan? I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
It's his answer to everything.
Quintus.
And it shows his stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
And it really does. The guy cannot plan 2 steps ahead.
Exactly. It's his lack of...
Yeah, it's only the direct answer that's the easiest answer he can think of.
Right.
Just eliminate him.
Right. And of course, just blows up in his face. But the funniest part about this is Thaddeus apparently not realizing that when he talks to himself, he can be heard outside of
I
his
had
suit.
that too. Thaddeus
my God.
in the power armor is fantastic, was my note.
So freaking funny. We see Norman again.
Mm-hmm.
It seems they found food.
I was like, how in the world did they find a truck beat up so full of food in the wasteland? That doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm. The one guy, what guy was it? The one that cracked me up is the guy who's eating the Blanco mac and cheese. Dry. Just eating the noodles, just shoving it in his face. It was actually pretty funny because then there was the woman, who was looking at the bridge and said, I drove across that bridge a week ago on her way to the job interview for Vault Tech.
Well, it was not
which
a week
is interesting. Right. However, it makes me think that the effects of cryostasis is going to be similar to anesthesia.
Yeah, you don't even realize
I've gone under a couple times. You don't even realize you're out. You're literally like, you're nodding off and then you're waking up.
Yeah.
Like you don't dream or anything like that. So you're just out and out.
I've never had surgery, but I had dental surgery and they knocked me out for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the same thing. Like, I remember him saying, count the penguins. I think I got the 3.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm waking up again. It
Fell
was just
asleep.
that.
I think it was I had a hernia. I had hernia surgery, and the nurse was asking me about cooking. I don't know how we got on the subject of that, but I was talking to her about cooking, and I was giving her my grilled cheese recipe as they were plunging the drugs into my veins, and I woke up finishing the recipe. Like I had nodded off, and I just started talking about brown
Oh, yeah.
sugar.
My bad.
Yeah. Well, I was like, what? Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Norm's starting to lose control. And they're starting to catch on, especially the guy who, I call him lunch orders guy because I forgot to write down his name.
Ronnie, you're
Ronnie,
welcome.
Yeah. I knew you'd get it.
Got you.
He's really catching on the Norm and starting to grill him about Phase 2.
Phase 2. And Future Enterprise Ventures, which struck me because those are the same letters as the Forced Evolutionary Virus, FEV.
Mm.
So I'm like, that's weird. Is that just a nod? Is that something else? What's Phase 2?
Yeah, I was really curious about Phase 2. Like, what is this whole thing about? Is it just, settling somewhere? I don't know.
I don't know. And Norman had to kind of play along, like he knew what the hell he was talking about. So they go ahead, lead the way, Ronnie.
Yeah, he is kind
That
of,
was weird.
yeah. I don't know how this is going to play
Ronnie's-
out. Because there was very little
think-
bit of Norm in this episode.
I think we're gonna get Lord of the Flies.
Think so?
I think Norman's gonna have a big problem to deal with here very shortly.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen next episode.
Yep.
And then we go back to the vault. Oh my god, Vault 32.
Vault 32.
Their dwellers
Woody.
there are so stupid. Simple directions, can't figure it out. And then one of the lines that caught me that was so dumb. A woman's men's room.
Woman's men room. I wrote that down. I wrote that down too.
Of course you did.
Woman's men room. Davy. Oh man, that old man's just wild. What I wouldn't give to go back to 33. And then we start to see things are starting to stretch at the seams a little bit in the
Yeah,
vault.
they're starting to unravel a bit. So that meeting between Betty and Steph.
Yep.
And they found out that Vault 31 is abandoned.
And that Bud Askins was upside down in a mop bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Steph is cold-blooded.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you,
Steph
my
is
Raider theory is becoming
cold-blooded.
more and more apparent.
Right. She's getting this, like, I think it's how different people deal with survival. Betty is approaching it from a community standpoint, and Steph is
going
approaching
full
it from
dictator.
us versus them, and it's going to be my way.
Yeah,
kind of
she's got
attitude.
something up her sleeve, and it's not good.
Yeah.
That bullshit line she threw at Betty, I have to think about my baby. And you could tell in her face it was just complete BS.
Oh, yeah. She didn't give a shit. Even in this episode, we see Chet still taking care of the kid, almost entirely on his own. The company isn't coming to save us. Each other is all we have. And then Steph makes an offer.
Mm-hmm.
She wants Hank's keepsake box in exchange for water.
Steph's really, really up to something. And why wouldn't they have extra water chip on hand somewhere in those 3 vaults? Why can't they go get it from Vault 31?
Right, if there is one.
Hmm.
I mean, you'd think...
True.
Well, we know there's water in there because of the fire suppression system, right? They talked about that. And Norman was getting water from it before he woke people up. So I don't know if the water chip applies there, or...
And apparently
I don't
Betty's
know.
from Solvang.
You know where that's at?
Yeah, I've been there 100 times. Well, not 100.
Okay. Okay.
Like maybe... Well, Solvang, California. I've been there probably 8 times growing up.
What's out there?
It's just
town?
it's a themed town up in the mountains here in California, just outside of LA, and it's like a Dutch style town.
Oh, so that'd be like Holland in Michigan.
Yeah, I'll throw some pictures of it. It's really quaint and cute. It's really great place to go visit during Christmas. Yeah, it's very very quaint little town, very uppity.
Okay.
So
Put up side by side. Actually, scratch that. Not Holland. Do side by side with Frankenmuth.
okay,
That's the big Christmas place. There's like a store that's Christmas all year round. It's got more ornaments than you could freaking imagine. You can find everything there. It's crazy.
That was just another cute little nod I want to bring up.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty cool.
And
I
that
lost my
line,
spot in my notes.
"The experiment is over, Betty. We have to make our own decisions now."
Yeah. And it appears that she's making hers. That's for sure.
Definitely, she's putting a clear line between 32 and 33 now. They're their own entities from now on.
Lucy and Ghoul arrive on the north side of New Vegas. Now, if you have never been to Las Vegas, don't go to North Vegas. The old strip's up there, but it's also like the worst neighborhood.
I like going to the old strip. It's fun, but just in the old strip, you don't go outside of it.
No, I've walked through that neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's a rough neighborhood. I didn't get mugged or anything, but I had to look like I belonged there because, it was sketchy. Sorry to any North Vegas listeners, but you live in a sketchy neighborhood. I'd rather walk down the streets of East Detroit. But we got Lucy and the Ghoul coming up. North Vegas welcoming community. We see dead Securitrons.
Yep.
And, alas, the kings are all feral ghouls.
Yep. And the Ghoul is absolutely eating up drugged up Lucy. He's digging it so much.
Oh, he's absolutely loving it. She's like, she's like, let's go through. Who fucking cares? I think that's the first time she used a shotgun.
Have a note in here.
Shot, she's like, whoa.
You have a note in here that says, "I'm not going to lie, I like the drugged out Lucy too."
She's kind of badass. The kings are feral, and the Ghoul knows what's going on. He just kind of leans against the car and gives Lucy a wink, and Dogmeat lays down. Lucy's like, they're just ghouls, right? And this is where I think, okay, so they said the VATS. That's why I looked up Buffout, because I'm like, what are the effects of Buffout? Well, they don't slow time, but we do see time slow down there during this this battle.
The famous little bullet shooting out during the trailer.
You got bullet time.
Where she's not aiming anything and holding the gun completely wrong.
No, but the funny part is that in the games, that's kind of how your character holds guns. Unless you get a mod, which I do, because it drives me crazy.
And aiming it correctly, yeah.
Right. She just smiles and gives a thumbs up. Oh, man. You got any cigarettes? I'd like to try one.
One addiction at a time, Lucy.
Right.
That's on my notes, too.
Yep, I wrote all that down, too. I also wrote down that Lucy had the shakes right after that battle.
I didn't catch that.
She already had the shakes. Yep, her hand was shaking. So the Buffout was already wearing off at that point. Well, because it only lasts a few minutes, so.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the Brotherhood.
Yeah, and this is where Thaddeus is cracking me the hell up, because Maximus is starting to execute his plan. It's Thaddeus, Maximus, and Dane.
Yep.
And this is where Thaddeus is talking to himself, and they can hear it in the mess hall. And those two leaders from the two factions come up trying to negotiate with him, thinking he's brain fart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking he's Xander.
Xander, thank you.
The emissary. Yeah, we got the lady from Yosemite and the guy from Coronado that come up, actually.
Yeah, this little...
Dane takes the squires and tells them, don't come out till the shooting stops.
Mm-hmm. This little trio is quite the comedic and just a complete screw-up combo. The only one with any intelligence is Dane.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a little bit of more of a brain on them than the other two do. Quick disclaimer, I kept calling Dane a she in the last episode, and I apologize. It's they. They are non-binary. However, this is where Maximus approaches Quintus with the intent of shooting him. He confesses that he killed Xander and draws his gun.
And of course, you can't do anything about it. And of course, Quintus is using the whole "my son" card on him, knowing that he's easy to manipulate.
Yep. But then we go back to Thaddeus, this poor bastard, talking to the Coronado guy and the Yosemite lady. And this is where we hear that Elder Maxon's still alive. But they're trying to negotiate with him.
Mm-hmm. And he starts having a panic attack.
He starts having a panic attack. He's like, what the hell is that? Just walk. It sounds like a coronary. Just walk it off. It's so good. Dane swipes the cold fusion reactor.
Yep. I knew that was going to happen, of course. And then she's going to later on give it to Maximus to get the hell out of there with it. And I'm surprised that the Brotherhood's not keeping. I thought they were going to keep it in there, and we were going to see some interesting things from the Brotherhood, but I'm not too surprised, actually. I kind of guessed during the previews, I didn't talk about this on the air, that he was going to be separating from the Brotherhood at some point.
Which he did with a flourish
in
this episode.
And that stabbing in the face was freaking gross as hell and way too funny in a weird way. When What's-Her-Face stabs the guy right through the cheek.
Oh, dude, it was so gnarly. I loved it.
The look on his face was cracking me up, and it was just disgusting, but I couldn't.
Yep. And then all hell breaks loose.
Mm-hmm.
All hell breaks loose.
There's your Civil War coming up.
Yep.
I'm all in one battle.
Dane gives Maximus a cold fusion, tells him to run. Thaddeus, hey guys, can we... That was after the mini gunfire on the other side of the wall. Thaddeus comes stumbling through. Dane tells him to run. Dude, hey guys, can we go now? And then as they're escaping, seeing all those airships firing at each other.
Yep, one dropping.
It's just... Yep. Dude, it's just all nasty, man. All nasty.
So now we have the Brotherhood going after Maximus and Thaddeus, probably Dane too. At the same time, we most likely have the Legion going to be coming after Lucy and the Ghoul. So we have the two biggest powerhouses that are after our main characters.
Of course, makes for good storytelling.
I'm convinced that at some point, and probably at the last episode, the Legion and the Brotherhood of Steel are going to come head to head. They're going to somehow get lured together and clash.
Yeah. I don't see the Legion walk away from that very well,
though.
Mm-mm. Nope. So let's talk about Woody. Let's talk about Woody, man.
Accusing Steph of a violation in front of her face.
Listen, he was following Vault-Tec protocol, telling on Steph to Steph.
Well, this is going to make it simple, doesn't it?
I know we've talked about the relative intelligence of some of the characters in the show. This guy's the idiot. He is the bar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Him and the old guy, I always forget his name, too. They're just like two peas in a pod. This is where the minimum level of intelligence occurs, so you can still breathe and live.
Right.
Then you got Ghoul up here. Lucy's a little bit below him. And
yeah. It's ugly. It's interesting because then Chet's hearing this about the secret meeting between Steph and Betty, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's putting away clothes, he's got the baby in a baby Bjorn.
Little sling, yeah.
Little sling. And he finds a hidden compartment with a wallet.
That was very interesting. The United States territories of Canada.
Yeah. Because in the Fallout universe, Canada was annexed. It was a big thing. So she was Canadian.
I'm not sure how that really
so obviously
plays
Canadians
into things,
are evil.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, I mean, I think it was just a point of she had a driver's license.
I don't know much about that, eh?
It was about the fact that she had a driver's license. She had something pre-war with her picture on it.
That makes sense.
That was the big thing. Yeah.
So now he knows that his boy is correct.
Yeah, Norman was onto something.
Mm-hmm.
What was that experiment about? Oh, it's just overseer stuff.
Yeah, I wrote that down too.
Let's go back to the strip.
Yeah, and this is where we see that New Vegas is very, very empty, and we discover why.
Yeah, it's a ghost town. Well,
how this happened is still a mystery.
Mm. Yeah, we don't know exactly what happened. Whether the Deathclaw that shows up was part of the problem or showed up after. You see the ghoul looking up at the Lucky... Or was the problem. The ghoul's looking up at Lucky 38, and they realize it was radiation, and then Lucy, who's still high, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
How big are the chickens out here? When she picks up a piece of Deathclaw egg.
I explained to Mrs. Wigit.
Your chickens.
I explained to Mrs. Wigit, yeah, that's a Deathclaw egg. We're about to see one.
Yeah. Mrs. Kilo paused the show because I'm there like, oh no. And she's like, what? I'm like, just watch.
Yeah.
And the Deathclaw comes busting out of the Gamorra.
Wasn't there two of them?
First of all, what?
I thought I saw a second one at the very end of that.
Oh, you might have.
There was one in front of him and one behind him.
Yeah, you might. I know there's the one for sure. I was taking notes to this whole thing.
Yeah, me too. It was hit and miss.
Lucy was like, "Oh, we got this. We can handle this. Whatever comes out of there." And then the Deathclaw busts out, and we see Lucy's face immediately change.
Yeah.
We see the ghoul's face immediately change.
I didn't think Lucy's already huge eyes could get any bigger and take up literally half of her face, but they do.
Yeah. And then she drops her famous tagline.
Okie
dokie. End of episode. In the credits, here's where Camp McLaren comes up, because what we see in the credits is Camp McLaren, and it is wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
It is completely destroyed. So that's what we know about Camp McLaren. It got wasted.
Wiped out, no more.
Wiped out, which makes sense because there's no real NCR presence besides those two yahoos.
So this episode has a lot of questions that brought up and a lot of things and a couple things answered, and it's starting to hit that crescendo point where everything's coming to a head.
Well, I'm really interested in watching next week's, because when Walter Goggins, I'm forgetting which, I watched so many interviews with the cast. I can't remember which interview. I think it was on Smartlist, but when he was talking about, it might have been something else, Variety. He was talking about the things that the ghoul deals with in this season and how severe it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he says the episode that really broke his heart was episode 5.
Oh, yeah.
The one we're going to be
I
watching
remember
next
seeing
week.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I think it's going to be a big flashback with Walter's character in New Vegas, before the war.
Walton's character. Yeah.
I think that's my idea. But anyway, we'll have to get into it next week. And this is going to pretty much wrap up the show tonight. I'm not going to get into my Fallout 76 play tonight. It wasn't much. I just ruining my dailies and a couple of complaints about things not going my way, which is normal. And how my luck just completely sucks.
Legendarily.
Yeah. I did experience my first dust storm in Burning Springs right when I was going after a bounty, cutting my vision off when I'm trying to snipe. So that was great. And my bounty was one of because these bounties, they get buffs, random buffs on them, okay? And this one happened to be the worst one possible for a sniper. Once they get to 0% health, they become immune to anything except melee.
That sucks.
Yeah,
that's god awful. Actually, I never played melee characters.
Nope. And I had to run away and get stealth so I could look up how to beat it. And it said melee. I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" And she's got a freaking minigun in power armor, and I had to go run up to her and bash her.
Oh, that seems easy.
Yeah, it was
you
great.
Should have had that. No problem.
One of my dailies was going after the Blood Eagles, which is a group of bandits in Appalachia. And I went to the biggest camp, thinking I can clear this easily. I got there. There was not a single Blood Eagle alive. Someone had just been through and killed them all. So I went to the next biggest one, and again, all dead. The dailies are random for each player.
Wow.
So what is the odds that I would go to one server with 25 people in it, and someone has the exact same daily I'd have, and just did it 2 minutes before I did?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So that was my week. It was great.
That's your luck. That makes sense. Well, real quick, I want to run down this list because we pushed it off last episode.
Oh yeah.
I'm the mods guy. I haven't talked about mods in a while. These are the most popular creations of 2025. And this is from Skyrim, Starfield, and Fallout 4. First one on the list is A Ballad of Wealth. Coinmaster, you've talked about this one. You team up with Tithys and Dramo, an ambitious investor, to acquire and manage businesses across Skyrim. Earn steady income, unlock financial perks, and grow your influence.
No, that's a different one.
Oh, is that a different one?
Yep.
I thought that was one that you did, where you have the helpers and stuff.
No, that's from the people that we talked to at the beginning of our show.
Kingath Creations. I'm thinking of Kingath. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's still bugged.
Oh, okay. Well, how about the Defenders of Falarun? by Mystic Madman. And you seek out and recruit Nemo Ko, an honorable Khajiit mercenary, lodging at the Bannered Mare. Claim 5 glorious sets of armor. Cool. And uncover your companion's hidden past. I haven't heard of that
I like
one.
how you just avoided trying to pronounce those. I would too.
I just skimmed over it. You didn't listen. Don't give him a peek behind the curtain. Son of a bitch. Starfield Creations, At Hell's Gate by Kingath Creations. A band of mercenaries narrowly escaped an encounter with something that can only be described as beyond evil. Investigate this mysterious happening and prevent a vile force from invading your universe. This Doom-inspired mini-quest from the team at Kingath Creations is presented by Bethesda Game Studios, and it is one of my favorites.
Never played it. Still haven't. I'm going to one of these days.
Awesome.
And of course,
get Doomslayer armor.
I'm surprised Watchtower wasn't first on this list.
Well, I don't think it's in any numerical order. It looks
Probably
like
not.
It's in alphabetical order. Watchtower, Orbital Strike Fleet Command. Build a fleet, call down orbital strikes, and take on the forces of Watchtower in this epic quest line.
Still need to finish
I highly recommend both of these. It is so much fun. I absolutely love it. How about for Fallout? Become a bounty hunter. Hobgoblin Studios. Take the role of a bounty hunter to track down and eliminate notorious outlaws in the new, fully voiced quest, Ballad of Texas Red, and earn new gear. That is amazing. I love that. Oh my God. I might have to play.
You're thinking about that now.
I am thinking about that one hard.
You got other games to play. Put it on hold.
I know I do. Listen, I don't need your shit. All right. Companion Casey, a doctor follower by Jay Serpa. Dr. Casey is a new companion that is able to heal you on the go twice a day. She's fully voiced with used lines and forms. I'm a little bit on the fence about the reused lines. I mean, it is kind of cool. It was kind of cool when the creations first came out because there was a creation that let you come back to Vault 111 and get your wife as a companion. Like she lived or was revived. I can't remember what the story was. But so it used Nora's voice lines to create conversation. And it was kind of cool in the sense that you had a bunch of new dialogue. But there was a few times where it's like, all right, that's obviously chopped together.
Yeah.
But maybe that one's done better. I don't know. And how about Gutsy Robot Backpack? Why is this one popular? It says the original Mr. Gutsy voice actor returns. This is a one-of-a-kind robot backpack complete with a short quest and is perfect for any wasteland adventure by Hobgoblin Studios. So it's a backpack? You just wear the Mr. Gutsy?
Yeah, that apparently talks to you.
Okay. And then you can get the Varmint Rifle, which is from Fallout New Vegas. Fall down a manhole, discover a unique rifle, and solve an elaborate set of puzzles. Varmint Rifle by Nihir is presented by Bethesda Game Studios. So there you go. There you go. There's your favorite mods of 2025, apparently, even though I didn't hear about most of those. So that's it. I think that's a show.
That is the show. We're going to wrap it up right here. We'll be back next week to cover episode 5. More news and more goodies. I'm expecting we're going to have a lot of news coming up in the next few months. So stay tuned for that. And
Definitely.
how do they reach us, sir?
They would reach us best by going to our link tree. That's linktr.ee/wyrdkhaosmedia. Wyrd is WYRD, chaos with a K, media. Or you can send us an email, wyrdkhaosmedia@gmail.com.
That is going to wrap up tonight's episode. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell. It helps us. The 5-star reviews on Spotify and iTunes are a giant help. They let people know that we exist.
Absolutely. And come chat with us on all of our socials, especially comment on YouTube, and come see us in our Discord, which can be found in our link tree.
The place to be.
The place to be.
I haven't said that in so long. Thank you for listening and watching, everybody, and have a fantastic week out in the Bethesdaverse.
Peace out.